Welcome to the Weekly Thrive Report with me, Greg Ehill, the Culture Change Agent. I'm pumped up, I'm excited, and first and foremost, I'm thankful for you. This past Saturday, we kicked off the third stop on the Minority Trailblazer Live Tour, and it was phenomenal. Special shout out to TK Peterson and Ryan Wilson, co-founders of The Gathering Spot, Octavia Gilmore, Jasmine Gurley, Dr. Novellis, freaking Rochelle Hill, and so many others that came out and supported. It was a phenomenal event. And guess what? This Saturday, July 29th, we're in Houston, Texas on the fourth stop of the Minority Trailblazer Tour. We have a special guest. We have so many people that's going to add so much value. I can't wait to see you. But let's get into the Weekly Thrive Report. And today, the theme is simple. How to create momentum, right? And there's a simple process how to create momentum because right now I am on fire. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Because guess what? I know some of you right now, right? You're watching this video, you have this idea, you have this goal, you don't know where to start, or you don't know how to create momentum. I want to get some key mind shifts so you can take it from A to Z. Because guess what? If I'm on fire and you're not, I'm not doing my job, right? I'm not calling myself a motivator. I'm not calling myself an inspirational speaker. I'm calling myself the culture change agent, and I want to change the culture of your mind, all right? So step number one. All right, the first step, and this is deep. Honor the power of one. When you first start something out, when it's brand new to the world, when it's brand new to your audience, a lot of times the traction is usually slow. Your listens are not that slow, the views are not that slow, people are not buying your product, and you can easily get discouraged because nobody's buying your product. But guess what? 9 times out of 10, you usually got one viewer, you usually got somebody that's listening, you got somebody that's investing in you, and here's where the problem lays. You're not respecting that one person that supports your product. That one person that views your video. You're looking for 1 million videos. You're looking for 1 million subscribers. Instead of just saying, okay, for that one subscriber, how can I add value to their life? Why are they listening to my content? How can I treat them like they're the most important individual in this world? Because you treat the one person that supports your product like they're the last person on earth, I guarantee you're going to get more people that support your product. You treat that one client you got that's paying you a good amount, I guarantee you will get more clients. And side note, let's keep it real. You never know who that one view is. Say if you put a song out on SoundCloud, right? And that one listen, that one download, that one stream is an A&R Sony executive, right? Is an A&R at like Def Jam. That could be a deal. What if you create a short film on YouTube and that one person that watches your video is executive at Cartoon Network or is executive YouTube original series, and that could be your opportunity to get on big time, right? But a lot of times we're looking at the numbers instead of looking at who is actually paying attention. We spend our whole life, our whole time looking at the data, looking at the numbers instead of just valuing that one person or that 5 people or that 10 people that are listening to your content. I'm telling you, that one person like they're the biggest client on earth, and I guarantee you will blow and you will have all your dreams become reality, as E.T. would say, because you just focus on that one person. You focus on people that do support you. I've said this time and time again, and I want to stay right here with it. Focus on those who do support you and not on those who are not. So if you have one view, treat that one view like it is your biggest fan, supporter, influencer ever, and more will come. Second step of creating momentum is pivotal and key. You need to know what momentum looks like for you. I know that's simple. I know that's not rocket scientists. They want momentum, but they don't know really what it's for or what it looks like for them. They're going off somebody else's gauge, somebody else's benchmark. And for you, it might be totally different. Case in point. With my Minority Trailblazer Tour, what am I creating momentum for? I'm creating momentum for the Minority Trailblazer Conference. That's why I'm doing the tour. That's why I'm setting things up for the Minority Trailblazer Conference, and all my strategy is geared towards my long-term vision of where I'm trying to go. Here's where you messed up, right? You're listening to this thing. You're trying to create momentum on your job. You're trying to create momentum in your relationship, in your business, in your life, in your fitness. But you have no clear idea on what's the goal. You don't know where you're going, and if you do know where you're going, it's based off somebody else's recommendation, right? So what is what I need you to do? I need you to go home, go in the lab, take the notepad and write, what is my vision? Where am I trying to go? Get feedback, get advice, but find out where you're trying to go and then scope your next steps based on that. Because I guarantee, once you get crystal clear on where you want to go, momentum is easy to kind of go. But when you're just aimless, when you just, somebody give you a recommendation, you just jump on that. Somebody say you should do that, you just jump on that. You have in your heart, don't know where you want to go, the world's going to guess what? Guess what? The world's going to take you where it wants to take you. And the last and most important thing of this all, right? Once you value the power of one, once you identify where you're trying to go, hear me out on this. Leave no value left behind. Let me repeat that. Leave no value left behind. Because I guess what? When you have the opportunity to finally get your supporter, finally get your client, you have to unleash so much value that they keep coming back and they want more. That's how you create that ongoing momentum. Case in point with this Minority Trailblazer Live Tour. Each and every single stop from Charlotte to DC to ATL and now Houston is getting better and better and better. And I'm trying to add so much value. People are saying, yo, G Hill, what's your highest price package? I just want to buy it just because I love the movement. I love what you're doing. You're adding so much value. I feel like I cheated you a bit. And they're buying a $100 package here. They're supplying more content here, inviting more friends. They say, yo, when are you coming back to Atlanta? When are you coming back to see? When are you coming back to Charlotte? Momentum creates itself once you say, yo, F it, I'm going to add as much value as I can. No holds barred. I'm not waiting till somebody pays $100 or somebody gives me a shout out or whatever. When I do get that one customer, when I do get that one opportunity, I'm saying I am leaving no value left behind, so there's no second chance, so there's no opportunity that they won't come back to me, right? Anytime I get the mic, I'm trying to kill it and leave it so there is no opportunity. If they have another opportunity, right? If they have another event coming up the next year, they cannot say I'm not going to be Greg Hill. Alright, the great things that happened this week, as I said before, Atlanta had a phenomenal time. We had a great turnout, great feedback, great energy, and I just can't wait for Houston. So shout out to everybody that came out in Atlanta. Also, I had a successful team meeting with my Houston team. I had to be much more intentional with Atlanta, and I learned from prior engagements and prior tours that beginning of the week I had that call with my team, and they're pumped up, they're excited, and I'm overwhelmed to finally be able to utilize volunteers better. Because back in the day, I was the guy that had 10 interns, and once I got 10 interns, I was like, what do I do with them? So now that I have people that are joining me on this mission, be able to kind of add value to them and kind of coordinate meetings, it may not be big to you, but that's huge for me. And last and certainly not least, great things that happened this week is I negotiated. Remember that book I told you about last week? I negotiated my first contract with the venue for the Minority Trailblazer Conference that's happening in 2018. I was able to kind of negotiate the terms, and that's big for me because usually I'm not the guy that's trying to negotiate things or try to switch prices up or payment schedules, but I've been reading the book, applying the principles, and I was able to negotiate a more favorable terms to the event in March 2018. My one area for improvement this week, I would say, is identifying time to read. I have to make sure that, of course, I give so much. I'm be honest, I give away a lot of content. I'm always on the phone giving advice, but the biggest thing I have to grow in is every single day getting back to 2 hours a day reading. If I'm not reading, then what am I learning and getting? I watch YouTube sometimes, I listen to podcasts, but I get the most value from reading, so I just want to be far more intentional about reading. My recommended tool or resource this week is the weekly Thrive list. Any of you, if you follow me on Snapchat, Gregory E. Hill, or on Instagram, Greg E. Hill, every morning I usually post kind of my activities for the day. And basically what it is every single day I outline my priorities, whether it's Minority Trailblazer, the podcast, the conference, speaking, business, etc. And I group it into projects. And on each project I have steps that I need to accomplish today to thrive. I don't call it a to-do list because to-do list kind of seems, I don't like that term. I like thrive, and that seems more encouraging, more inspiring. So I call it a weekly Thrive list or the daily Thrive list, and it's been working thus far for the last couple years. So I group all my stuff, my priorities, into projects, and then I have bullet points on exactly what I need to accomplish that day, who I need to accomplish it, what time I need to accomplish it by, and 9 times out of 10, I get it done. And if I don't get it done, I just leave it on the list and I just knock it out all week. My big takeaway of the week, big actions produce big results. I know last week around this time, my Atlanta numbers were like 10 people RSVP, so what I do? I emailed about 100 individuals, individually asking them to come out to the Atlanta event. LinkedIn, direct messages, asking people to come out to the Atlanta event. and we able to have our biggest numbers today. So I'm just saying, anytime you have this big goal, this big vision, make sure you have big action in order to get it accomplished, right? So I didn't just say, oh, I have all these followers, and just put it out, people are going to come. No. I know. I was aggressive at promoting this event, exactly how I'm going to promote Houston, exactly how I'm going to promote every event I do, because that's the only way I know how. But I'm just challenging you. When you have your big goals, your big dreams, I'm telling you, you take big action, the world is going to make sure you achieve it, right? And if you don't, at least you learn something. My one goal for this week is to secure the venue for my first Minority Trail Blazer live tour internationally, right? So I'm thinking either going to be in South Africa or Europe, depending on who buys first. Definitely be on the lookout for my UK people. I would definitely, or my UK and my South Africans, because I'm definitely coming home soon, or I'll be in the UK. So make sure you keep me on the radar and keep me in your prayers as I look to lock down the venue. And then last but certainly not least, what I need from you this week, all I need is simple, right? Know what you want the remaining of 2017 to look like, what you want it to taste like, what you want it to feel like, and go get it, alright? And make sure you tune into the next episode of the Weekly Thrive Report, subscribe to the channel, and do one thing and one thing only for me. If you already know you listen to the podcast, you know what it is. Change the freaking culture. Good night! Summer rain, it whispers me to sleep and makes me up again. Sometimes I hear I hear it call my name. I know I still can't sing.